and welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
Hello, everybody. Huge shout out there. Welcome to Shit They Don't Tell You. My name's Steve Green.
And today we're going to answer more of your beautiful questions. Thank you so much for sending. And if you want to submit a question, you can submit to podcast@nikki.limo. That's podcast@nikki.limo. And we will maybe see your question. I kind of choose them at random, but
we don't focus very easily, and so we look for things that grab our attention.
yes, we do go by titles and then we go by compliments. So those are the orders in which we choose our questions.
Which makes us very susceptible to advertising as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you want to advertise to us.
Oh, you got us good.
Also, disclaimer that we always say is we are not experts. So although you may choose to ask us a relationship or a money or a crypto question.
Please. Although I do feel like I'm a crypto expert, but it's fine.
This is for entertainment purposes only.
Correct.
Please consult a financial advisor and or a mental health professional.
I feel inside that I am a crypto expert.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good to recognize your skills.
I feel inside that I am a princess astronaut.
Okay.
So.
When do you go into space?
I don't know. When I feel like it.
Or do you go to space like astral projectorly?
Well, I'm an astronaut that doesn't go. Not all astronauts go to space.
That's not true.
Yeah, so don't discriminate.
That's ridiculous. I didn't consider...
Don't play into the stereotypes.
I didn't consider Gary Sinise an astronaut when I watched Apollo 13. I was just like, he's a fucking poser.
I don't know who that is.
And he's a whiny boy.
I don't know who that is. Anyway, your questions. Let's get to them.
Yep.
All right. So I don't look at these beforehand, so I'm just going by title. This one is titled, I'm Stuck. Okay, what are you stuck about? All right.
Like I'm in a sliding door.
I'm stuck. Help. Can you please call the
police? Between the sliding door. Both sliding doors have closed.
And I'm sandwiched. please bring food and water.
The screen is against my face. Against.
Hi, Nikki and Steve. I've been listening to the podcast for quite some time now. I've been stuck in a loop with this guy I met 10 months ago. We worked together, and when I first met him, he was everything I wanted in a guy. But as you know, every guy has his flaws. Oh, don't I know it?
Hey, what?
He has a little girl that's about to turn 1, and when I met him 10 months ago, he had a girlfriend, and I had a boyfriend. Shortly after I met him, I broke up with my boyfriend at the time and went back to my ex. By the way, don't ever go back to an ex. So true. Things started getting personal between us, and he soon broke up with his ex. Then things got sexual between us.
Oh, shit.
His ex found out, and she ended up moving out, and I thought we were going to end up being together. Then his ex wanted to move back down here where we live because their baby's doctor is down here, and driving 5 hours to a doctor's appointment seemed kind of dumb. I thought she could move doctors to where she was staying, but she never seemed to understand that concept. Slight dig. She moved back in January, and then I found out she was pregnant with his baby. He had cheated on me when she came down Christmas week. He then left me to work things out with her early January, but then things never seemed to fix and he came back to me. Now, I'm constantly thinking he's cheating on me when he goes 20 minutes without responding. I spend a lot of time crying myself to sleep, thinking of scenarios that haven't even happened yet. Mm-hmm. I'm breaking my own heart over him. She's moving out again soon, but I feel like soon isn't soon enough. I can't do anything with him because not only does she stalk him, but she stalks me too. I see her coming to my job all the time to make sure I'm at work, and so as him. She drives around where we all live to try and catch me and him together. She's
very healthy.
She knows we are a thing, but tries to get back with him anyway, even though he has told her they are not getting back together. I'm really sorry this is a lengthy email, and I'm sorry if there are spelling mistakes. I just need to know if I should let him go or try to stay with him and work things out.
Do you honestly think, if you've ever listened to this fucking show, that we're going to be like, yo, girl, you got to stick it out? This guy sounds like a gem.
Sounds like a winner.
You got a real gem on your hands here.
Yeah.
Just got to polish that turd
What we always like to say is if there's massive problems in the beginning, it's bound to be a great love story.
Listen, you've been digging. Keep on digging over there. You're almost getting through.
Yeah, and then go ahead and put the dirt over your head. Just really pack it in there and bury yourself. Because that's what you are doing right now.
Your entire situation is based on sticking around this cat, and then you got the chick even like hovering around you. Fucking, she's your moon, I guess.
Yeah,
orbiting you.
Like, do you really want just a mess of problems?
Get out of here.
There's just too much drama.
Get away from this shit.
I feel like sometimes maybe we subconsciously crave drama because, being comfortable is too boring and you get complacent and stuff. And so you kind of like get addicted to the thrill of the drama, but you're not really in love. Like, you're just addicted to these feelings because they're heightened. They're like so heightened, and even though they make you feel bad and you're crying yourself to sleep, it's almost like It's like that Gautier song where it's like, you could get addicted to a certain kind of sadness.
That song played way too much, way too long.
Yeah.
Please don't do that again.
Well, I did.
It was on every commercial, every fucking single thing.
I know.
Like
2012,
ever.
baby.
Oh my God.
I was actually going through a breakup while it was playing, and I was like, yeah, I relate hard.
I was at a friend's house, and he made me sit there and listen to the whole song, and I was like, why are you doing this?
That's 3 minutes.
It sounds longer.
I really liked that song when it came out. It did get very overplayed. But anyway.
I don't remember if I liked it or not.
Back to you, friend. Yeah, no. Like, this is big fat no. And also they have kids together now.
What are you doing?
No.
Girl, look at us. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Value yourself. Look me in the eyeballs.
Right.
Value yourself, please. I'm begging you. Just look at yourself and be like, hey, is this man worth this heartbreak and tears? Obviously, you're saying, oh, I'm crying over things that haven't happened yet, but they did happen. He did cheat on you. So that's not something that couldn't happen. It happened. And he had a baby because he cheated on you. So I don't think this is worth I don't think this is invalid that you're feeling this way. And I don't think it's worth your struggle and tears.
Listen,
move on.
We love you and we're moving on.
Let that space be open for someone that deserves it.
We're moving on.
We're moving on.
You need to move on.
I'm already over this guy.
Completely over him.
Okay. Next. Okay. This one's titled, Help, Mind Boggle. Okay. First off, love you both. Nikki a little more. Sorry, Iceman. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thanks. I love when there's unbalanced love and it goes my way.
Why do people do that?
But not when it goes the other way. It
we
makes
live in a
me very
comparative
sad.
reality. Everything must be compared.
True. I mean, like, I love Tom a little bit more than Mama, but a little bit less than Franklin.
I love this food, and it's better than your food as well. I can't just like my food. I have to make sure that it's better than your food.
Yeah, you have to know that you're getting a good deal.
I guess.
I love you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Okay, now to preface this, I did not do any research on my own. This is a purely random thought, and I would love to hear you discuss. How do blind people shop for clothes? Accessories? Shoes? House decor? I brought this up to my boyfriend, and that's when he jokingly said I should submit this to you both, and I said yes. Now I have to prove him my word. I told you I don't read these beforehand. We're slightly tipsy. We both enjoy listening to your show together. Okay, listen, I'm not a blind person. I think it's very rude to answer for a blind person, to speak for a blind person.
I will do it.
Okay, go ahead. You're kind of blind. You're pretty much blind. At night, when we're driving,
Thank you very much.
You're blind.
I believe they have phoned a friend. I believe. That's my belief.
There's a channel that what's her name? Molly. I think it's Molly something, but she is incredible. She can do a full face of makeup. She's blind, like completely blind. And she can do her makeup perfectly. She could do everything. And I watch her channel. Look up Molly blind. Her name might not be Molly.
But wait till after the show. Don't compete with our show.
That means just because you're blind doesn't mean you can't do things. Like your other senses get way more heightened. And I imagine when they shop for clothes, you're picking out, you're feeling everything. Like you just get really fucking savant at feeling everything, right? I
don't know. I think I would ask a friend.
You're gonna phone a friend?
I would on this one, yeah.
Yeah, if you were blind or if you're for the blind.
Either way.
Anyway, Google it. There's a whole blind community that could probably answer this question.
There you go.
We are not the speaking people for this. Okay, next. This one is called Bitcoin 401k Money Investing. Oh my.
Let's go.
Hey guys, I just recently started listening to your podcast and I've been hooked. I love your topics. I love your humor. And I feel like I'm just hanging out at the studio with you, listening to a cool conversation about shit I never knew. It's
you're here
rad.
For the vibe.
Thank you.
You're here for the vibe.
I'm glad you're here in our studio. Our very expensive, very chic, not to brag, studio. Yep. It's if you're listening on audio, oh my gosh, it is expensive looking. It is luxurious.
We put blankets all over everything.
Yeah, we want to be relatable.
Yeah.
We're going to hide everything. That's cool. Okay. So I've been a little curious about Bitcoin. And yes, I'm really late to the party when it comes to the whole Bitcoin craze. You're not. But honestly, listening to Steve talk about it and listening to your topics on investment and money management have really began to pique my curiosity even more about cryptocurrency,
We got one.
stocks, investing, and what's my 401k doing? I'm pretty sure I'm doing 401k all wrong. LOL. I'm wondering, Steve, if you have any other shows specifically about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, or if you can recommend a good podcast for a newbie such as myself, but it'd have to be easy to listen to. I've tried a couple and I can't get into them enough to want to keep listening. I'm also wondering, Lisa, if you have any other shows you do or recommendations. I don't know who Lisa is, but...
I think your name's Lisa.
Oh, okay.
You look like you could be a
That
Lisa.
could be a Lisa,
Yeah.
I think. For a podcast or for a super, super beginner like that, I seriously have no clue about stocks or how to invest type of
They
beginner.
like Nikki more,
such as myself.
but they don't even know her name.
Wait, no, this isn't the one that likes me more.
Okay, just
That
I've been stuck on it.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
the blind person.
I've been stuck on
the
it. I can't let go.
blind question.
I've been stuck on it.
Okay, well,
Can't let go.
I'm sorry. Can you let a new person ask a question? Yeah. This person's asking about cryptocurrency, so get with her.
I apologize.
Also, she loves us both, but probably you more because she knows your name. So anyway, I listened to your investing podcast and the one about GameStop last night, and something you said got me thinking about my 401k and how it just
By the
come
way,
out of my check.
GameStop hit 300 today.
Okay, let me get through this question. Okay, started thinking about her 401k and how it just comes out of my check and goes to a mutual fund, I think. And honestly, I don't know anything about it beyond that. Should I put it somewhere else? Can I? How? I have so many questions, but I'm so not the money investing type. And there are too many podcasts and it's also overwhelming that I just go back to listening to true crime shows. Haha, way less stressful. Oh my gosh, true crime shows they're not less stressful. People are getting murdered. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's what's been keeping me up these days. And it's the first time ever really asking about anyone about it. So thank you in advance. The Curious Cat Blue.
Okay, so she's curious about
if you have any specific cryptocurrency shows that you do, which we do on our Patreon. Indeed. Now we just started one called Steve's Crypto Corner.
Crypto Corner. I give you my
monthly
thoughts
on crypto.
I could end up doing it weekly. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens because there's so much going on in the space.
There's so much buzz.
But yeah, just to give you a little primer, anybody who says, "Oh my God, I missed it with Bitcoin," you could have bought Bitcoin when it was at the peak in 2018 for $20,000. Just held it. And right now, it would be worth $57,000.
You'd have to hold it through a bunch of people making fun of you.
That's
and
right.
Like berating you.
People are going to shit on you.
Yeah.
Monkeys in a barrel are always going to shit on you.
When something
They're always
goes
going to be
high
smarter than you.
and then it drops low, people go, ha ha, I knew it. Because they didn't get in on it, so they like to feel smart.
They're smarter than you because they didn't get in on it at all.
Yeah, they didn't take any risks.
So even at the fucking bottom of the bull of this last bear market, which was, last year, I was still up on my initial investment, which I pulled out years ago. So the idea that everyone was laughing at me going like, oh my God, crypto's dead and you're an idiot. I'm like, no, you're an idiot because you don't understand that I've made so much fucking money off of this shit and I'm still in the green. So you haven't missed anything. Not even 5. I'd say not even 7% of the entire world is even in on this stuff yet. It's very, very early. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins. That the last Bitcoin will be mined over 100 years from now. You better believe it's not over yet. And all these huge investors are getting in right now. Elon Musk just bought in.
Yeah.
This guy, Galaxy, what the fuck is his name? Mike Novogratz is one of the investors.
It's just starting to hit a tipping point.
Exactly, dude. Also, I heard today that the NASDAQ is starting to make a list of all companies who are buying into Bitcoin. So if you think this is over, you're in for a rude one.
Yeah.
This thing's going to 200,000. I mean, like I'm not an expert, blah, blah, blah. This is going to $200,000, like I think. So, and I think it could blow off top at like 300,000 even. So this shit's not even beginning to bubble yet.
So get in. You can still get in.
You can still get in.
Just don't freak out if and when it drops. And
don't like mortgage your house or something.
Yeah.
Just put in money that you're comfortable losing if it goes the other way. But just hold the fuck out of it. Don't put in money that you need tomorrow.
Think of it as a long-term investment, not a get-rich-quick thing.
Yeah, we're not here for that. We're here to change the financial system because right now they can just print as much money as they want on top of your fucking head and they make your cash less valuable, especially if you bank it, by 4% every year. So you better be doing something with your money, in my opinion.
Yeah, and with your 401k, it really depends on where it's going. I mean, you can typically in a 401k, you're looking at a bunch of mutual funds, and you can pick the mutual fund that you want. And so you can find one that has a history of giving you a 12% return. But I mean, honestly, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't care to learn about like individual stocks and you don't want to research individual companies, I would just keep it in a broad-based index fund or ETF or a mutual fund that has a history of giving you a higher rate of return. Because even though you're losing to inflation and fees from fund managers, at least you aren't gambling it on a hot stock that you didn't research.
I would also, you mentioned like, where I go for crypto stuff.
Yeah.
I would go to Reddit ETH Finance. It's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to, there's a bunch of tubers who do it. There's a guy named Cryptos R Us. His name's George. He's very, very good. Always on it. I think he's always on the fucking money with what he sees with the market and the way that I look at the market. I think we have an identical ideology about it. So yeah, I think he's really solid too.
Cool. And then for stocks, I would always recommend Phil Town. I think he does the best job of breaking it down in layman's terms. And he's a value stock investor. So there's growth versus value stocks. But Warren Buffett is a value stock investor. And a lot of the investors that I like to listen to are value stock investors. And so Phil Town has a great system and podcast and book. Read his books. Rule number 1. Read the other one is called Payback Time. Both really good books on how to analyze stocks. And any beginner, like you don't have to know anything and you can learn from scratch with those books.
Ethereum DeFi space. Check it out.
Check it out.
And never stop checking it out. You'll be very
Just
happy.
keep checking it out. Get
very,
analysis paralysis,
yes.
checking it out. Okay. Ooh, I like this title. In all caps, it says, "Am I overthinking or being reasonable?"
Oh, shit.
It sounds like you're very overwhelmed. Okay. Hey, Nikki and Steve. Just want to start off by saying that I appreciate you both so much and look up to you as a couple. You've always filled the silence with your wise advice. Love you both so much. Oh my God, we love you too.
We love
Thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you for the even
My name is
treatment.
Marianne. Smiley face. Hi, Marianne.
Hi.
I have a situation in my life that is bothering me very much, but I don't know if I'm overthinking. Here's a brief backstory. My fiance and I have been together over a year and a half. We got engaged on Christmas 2020. Oh, cool. Congrats.
Big time.
That just happened. He matches my weird personality extremely well and vice versa. He is amazing and I'm incredibly in love with him and excited to start a life together. He has been the most loving, emotionally intelligent, loyal, and honest partner ever. It came to a point where he asked me if I was okay with him having certain dating apps, but using them strictly for business/friends since he's into photography and creating YouTube content. Me, always being the understanding girlfriend at the time, I said yes because I trusted him entirely. Fast forward a little bit, he made friends with certain people that I wasn't comfortable with, so I kindly asked him to delete the apps. Mind you, he has very bad ADHD, so I blame this next part on that. Another few months go by and he tells me about this girl he met on the app named Becca. When I told him that I asked him to delete the apps months ago, he was shocked as if he didn't remember the conversation, which is quite common with his shitty memory. So he tells me about this girl and is already making me feel uncomfortable because they met in a way that already felt weird to me. Becca lived with housemates, so my fiance would go over there and spend lots of time with them.
Why?
I know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
We were on a breather during this time, and so I hated the fact that Becca got his attention when I wanted it the most. One night, he crossed a huge line for me. He had been there watching movies with her and the two housemates, and they offered for him to sleep over, and he accepted without asking if I was comfortable with it. After a long inner battle with myself, I finally let him know that his friendship with her was tainted to me because of the way they had met and the way they had met, a comment she made about being down to have a threesome with us. A friend wouldn't be comfortable to see another friend that way, and him crossing a boundary with sleeping over on the couch. He offered to delete and block her off everything, and I said that would make me feel the most comfortable. Even though this is over and done with, it still makes my skin crawl and my blood boil. Why does this have such a big effect on me? Am I overthinking the situation? Am I being reasonable? Am I just insecure? I feel like it's maybe because I didn't feel like I had closure from it. He was surprisingly less emotionally intelligent when this was happening, but somehow always managed to understand where I was coming from with my arguments, just showing less emotion. Anyways, I know this is a really long email and I apologize. Honestly, it felt good just to get it out there. Thank you for being the amazing humans you are. Heart.
Listen, dude.
Marianne.
You got disrespected big time.
Yeah, you are not overthinking this.
That's why you feel uncomfortable because this guy was working you a little bit.
I don't even think he was. I don't know. I think he was
playing dumb, dude. But he was. You can't do this shit. Period. Like you can't meet this chick on a dating app and then go hang out with her and all this shit.
Yeah.
That's no. He knows better than that.
That's
Come on.
true.
Come on.
But she said they were on a breather. I don't know exactly what that means. Did they break up?
Well, but they're fiancés, so I don't get that.
Well, now they are.
Well, right.
But this was months ago.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So it's just still bothering her.
But they're fiancés right now.
Yeah. I definitely think there's still an arrow there that you should revisit with him.
Yes.
Where you can fully feel like it's resolved, because he just like quick fixed it. You know what happened? I think he didn't get any sort of punishment for it. Like there was no repercussion or anything. It was just like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm going to delete it and block her and whatever. And there was never any like
I'm sorry. And
there wasn't, it felt like there wasn't any remorse for.
Maybe there was, but we didn't hear about it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just trying to guess on why she can't let it go.
Yeah. Well, I also think too, man, I mean, if I knew that you were on a dating app talking to some dude.
And then went over to his house and spent the night there?
Spent the night and hung out. And then I'm just supposed to carry on with you normally. Yeah, I think I'd still be bothered, actually.
And where did he sleep? Did he sleep on their couch, or did he sleep like in a bed? Or, whose bed? I don't know. I don't trust the whole like... Maybe because I'm triggered because my last relationship, this kind of happened.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're friends.
Yeah, I know.
But they didn't end up being just friends.
No shit.
And it was while we were on a breather.
Guys aren't like this. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're the guy. Okay, cool,
and
great.
why would you be on a dating app? I mean, I know it said that his excuse was that it was for photography or friends' YouTube channel stuff. It does make sense. But then he crossed that line. So I think he is kind of playing dumb with the whole, my memory.
Come on.
Like a dating app? Really?
Come on.
A dating app?
Don't let him cover this up with stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Make him take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
That's all. Own it. And then if you can move on from there, great. But if you can't, if it's something that keeps you up at night and something that bothers you, then he needs to reconcile that.
Yeah. And you guys need to talk it out until like you feel like you trust 100%. Like, because now that you're going to get married, there should be a clean slate. You shouldn't have any trust issues. It should be a very clean slate.
So fix it before then, bro.
So once you say, okay, this issue's done, it's resolved, like my feelings are resolved, then it has to stay that way. So if they're not resolved, you need to talk it out and continue to have this conversation with him until you get to a point where it's okay.
Really, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This, happened to us a couple times where, not this situation, but like where an issue, like for some reason kept bothering either one of us. Yeah.
Bring it up till it's done.
And it should never be dumb to the other partner. Like this, I feel like we have such a solid understanding that if someone needs to bring something up again, that like it didn't fully get resolved, and like we're on the same team. So we want to get that resolved.
Do it till it's done.
Yeah. And that really helps. Like just knowing that there's a safety net there where it's like, okay, he's going to be from a place of understanding when I bring this issue up.
Yeah. Are you communicating effectively?
Yeah.
Really? So good luck out there.
Good
Hopefully
luck.
you can communicate
I don't
better.
think that this is invalid for you to feel this way.
Bring it up tonight. Let's go. Let's get this thing solved. Let's figure it out.
But first, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we will answer more of your questions. Not experts.
On the Shit They Don't Tell You podcast
advice.
Network.
Not relationship advice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. We just want to take a break to tell you thanks for listening to our podcast. And if you want to rate it, that would be really awesome for us.
Listen, we're on break. We're not talking to you like podcast hosts right now. We're just talking to you like people.
As a friend.
And we just want to say, please rate the show because it helps out huge amounts.
Like, we're not desperate. We're like kind of desperate.
We're giving shout outs right now to all the people who are giving it ratings. So huge shout out right now to Brian Jorgensen. That was sick of you, dude. Thank you. God bless. Huge shout out right now to Mark W. in Springfield, Connecticut.
Back to our podcast.
Jenny Blythe.
Hey, back to our podcast.
In Tuscany,
and
Florida.
Back to our podcast.
God bless you. Thank you.
Steven.
Thank you for supporting the show.
And we're back with more of your questions, your sexy, sexual question. Well, actually, some are sexual.
Or casual. You're like in some jammies. You're hanging out. You're going to watch some TV.
Yeah, Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
All right. This one says, please help. My boss doesn't want me to apply? ? Exclamation point. Mm-hmm. Good evening / morning. Good evening/morning to you. Love you and Steve so much. You guys make my commute filled with laughter. Plus, you're both beautiful. Please help me. I feel like you guys would know what to do.
Thank you.
She said we're both beautiful. That's
Thank
so
you so
sweet.
much. Thank you. We're trying.
I wanted to ask a question about applying for a higher position within a company. I'm currently a laboratory assistant position, soon to graduate from university and apply for a scientist position. Oh my goodness.
Whoa, scientist.
All smart. The thing is, the assistant manager, aka the main boss for the lab assistants, had a strange conversation with me. She asked when I graduate, so I told her. Then she went on to say that she doesn't think the uni I go to is very good. She's hired at least 10 people from the same uni. It's also the top 2% globally. She also stated that the interview questions were very difficult, and it was an odd conversation that really made me think she doesn't want me to apply for the position. Issue is, she is on the panel of interviewers. She's one of the 5 opinions. Okay.
Oh, shit.
I'm a hard worker, strong work ethic, barely take sick days, 2-ish per year when I need it, and I'm actually sick. I'm always on time. I'm always hardworking. I take every second Saturday as a 6th shift. I will always stay back or start early as requested. I barely make mistakes. I'm extremely efficient, top 2 people KPI-wise. There's no reason she would not want me to apply, except for the fact that I was honest with her and said I would apply for jobs available during a pandemic, as many graduates would, meaning I just need a job. I didn't state not necessarily in that department, but I did state I need a job and would apply for jobs as a new graduate. I think she's extremely loyal to the company, and maybe she doesn't want me to apply because she thinks she'll train me and then I'll leave for a higher paying job, which is not a good reason not to hire someone. What do you think I should do? It bothers me a lot, and clearing it up would put my mind at ease. I would really like to ask her point blank why she doesn't want me to apply. Or do you think that's not worth the effort/consequences? Or do you think she will gain respect for me for asking the question? Thanks, and kind regards, Anonymous.
Dude, you fucking apply for this job.
That's a great question,
You
by the way.
apply for this fucking job, you understand?
Yeah, absolutely 100% apply for the job.
Because even if she's a doubter, you get put in a position to prove that she is just a fucking hater.
Yeah, and she's only one of 5 opinions on the panel.
She can
so
get outvoted even.
Exactly.
If she just dislikes you for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I would ask her point blank, but I bring it up gently. Like, don't bring it up assuming that she's trying to somehow sabotage you, or I would bring it up in a very neutral way, like, hey, so the other day I asked about applying for this position and it kind of seemed like you didn't want me to apply. Is there a reason, like you know, and bring up the points that you made, like, you know, you said the thing about the universities, but the thing is you're hiring a lot of people from that university, and, you know, I just want to clear things up and maybe if there's something that I'm missing.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's tricky, right? Because she could be a person that doesn't. There are people I've confronted about things and they end up respecting me afterward big time and tiptoeing around me and stuff, and making sure that they don't do that again. And then there are people who have confronted about shit, and then they're just like, yeah, and then it escalates the situation, and then they're like, fuck you, and like that kind of thing.
Right. This
doesn't sound like it'll be that.
That's why I'm saying bring it up neutrally. But the risk that you run is that she's still your boss. So if you don't get this higher position, then, you know, you might have upset your current boss. But I don't know. I feel like I can't work for someone that doesn't respect me.
Never accept just chilling where you're at. Try to fucking win for yourself. Apply for this shit and try to blow the doors off of this thing and show her why you're a badass.
Yeah. And it sounds like you listed all the reasons why you deserve this position. So just believe in yourself.
It's a movie moment for you.
Apply, you know? Have confidence.
It's a comeback tale.
But the second question of whether she should confront her boss, like, should she just apply I
think applying is confronting her boss.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because her boss is basically saying, yo, I think you won't get in because of the unis and all this shit. So I think applying is confronting her boss.
Oh, okay.
It's like, yo, fuck you. Guess what? Boom. I just did it anyway because I rock. And they're like, hey, we all voted no on you. And we're like, oh, shit. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
If it is like that, where they were like, you'll never get in because of your unis, bitch. Sorry.
I just feel like being direct, if something's bothering you, like being direct.
Well, when you go to drop off your application for this shit,
yeah.
If you happen to see this person, be like, hey, I'm dropping off, and be like excited about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know, man. I like to put the knife in a paper bag before I stab the person a little bit. And I think that there's something really nice about not letting them know that it bothered you and just plowing forward. Like, of course I would apply for this.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
That's all.
True. That's true.
Because you have confidence in yourself and you're a fucking winner and you're going to go out there and prove it.
Yeah, because there's not really anything that you gained from confronting her beforehand.
I don't see why.
Other than her being even more aware that you're aware that she doesn't want you to have the job.
And you could create a weird awkwardness between you two. And maybe she needs to prove that she's right and you didn't deserve it the whole time. But now it's more neutral. She's like, oh, she was excited to apply. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll
I take it back. I think, don't confront her. Go do the interview. Don't give a fuck. See, when you
say that you like Nikki more, some of you.
Excuse you.
Sometimes I come from behind out of nowhere and fucking bank a shot. And then I got to say,
like last night.
Well, 2 nights ago. But yeah. Maybe think about that before you write.
You are the favorite many a time.
Just think about that before you write that.
Let me have a win.
I think Mark's.
Give me one
I think
win.
I'm Mark's favorite.
Yeah, right.
I think so.
Nah.
I would put money on it, actually.
Nah.
I have.
How much money? That's my money too.
I put like $500 on it.
Oh shit. That's the wrong bet.
I got into some weird betting markets, by the way.
It's like you want me to feel like Mark likes you more now so that we could win the bet.
Yeah, because that's our money.
Mark, I know you like me more. Just blink twice.
Dude,
okay. So I hope that helped. Believe in yourself, though. You sound so qualified. So
you're going to be fine.
Crush it. You're going to crush it.
We're so proud of you, by the way. You go be a scientist.
How about you sound like Moira from Schitt's Creek? Be a scientist.
Like somebody who doesn't even know what the fuck it is. Just like, you go be a scientist. You do your formulas.
You little
Don't let anyone stop you.
hypotheses.
Your little beakers and your little jacket on. Being a scientist.
Okay, this one you're probably the favorite on. Will that make you feel better about yourself?
We'll see. I'm still bitter.
Okay. Then maybe I'll skip it. It's called Screenwriting Podcast, Please, but maybe I'll skip it.
Yeah,
because
please.
If it doesn't make a difference to you.
No. That sounds really not really hot.
All right. This is called Screenwriting Podcast, Please. Hey guys, longtime fan and listener. I absolutely love the show. I look forward to listening to it every week. It's super weird because I feel close to you guys, like we're best friends, but y'all don't know me. We know you.
We do. If you're in this crowd, we know you.
You.
By the way, we actually do feel like we know our Patreons.
Yeah, we do.
So
if you did want to join our Patreon community, we would absolutely know you because we know everybody there and they are all amazing people.
Especially if you come to the live stream, bro. I've gotten to know so many of those people. It's crazy.
So true. I know so much of their lives.
Yeah, we know their ins, the outs, the ups, the downs. Mm-hmm. We know why they're kind of bad people sometimes.
Such bad people.
And we know why they're kind of good people sometimes.
They're such good people.
Yeah, they're the best.
Anyway, no, we could actually... I actually recognize your name. I'm not going to say your name just in case you want to remain anonymous.
Actually.
Yeah, but I do recognize your name, person who is sending this.
We see you.
I've seen you.
Yep.
Anyway, he goes, I really enjoyed the screenwriting segment on the last podcast, and I'm really hoping for a full podcast on screenwriting and maybe writing in general.
Okay.
I'd love to hear more about Steve's process.
Sold.
Your little process.
Yeah, my little process.
Your little writing process.
You big writer.
Aww.
Are you a big writer boy?
Get on that big old keyboard.
Are you
going
to do some pages tonight? Yeah, you bet. I'll do that for you. Just for you. How
Just
about that?
for you, mister. Because we know you very well.
Yes.
Okay.
Literally, though. Not even
actually, I recognize your name many a time.
I will do indeed that. You bet.
I also almost feel like you're part of the Patreon. Like, I feel like I've seen your name on the Patreon. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is anxious about sex.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Okay. A sexual
We
question.
like that.
Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, icebreaker and husband.
What the
My name is Katrina. I'm 27 years old and live with my boyfriend of 4 years. This past year, I've been suffering a lot from anxiety and periods of depression, and a couple weeks ago started taking treatment for both. I now feel so joyful and productive, but still have some anxious days. I've never really been a sexual person. I enjoy it when it happens, but I don't crave it. I can go months without sex or pleasing myself. Wow. And lately, I've been so busy with my work and projects and binge watching The Office that sex has gone to the bottom of my list. My boyfriend has been very patient and supportive of my mental illness, and I have been pleasing him in other ways, wink, wink. And I love it because I love him so much. He doesn't push me to have sex, but when I'm doing those other things, he asks if I want to have sex, and I politely and lovingly decline, and I tell him I don't feel like it right now, but we'll do it soon when I feel less anxious. He kind of gives me a sad puppy face, but smiles because I still show my love and desire for him. We've had issues in the past because of my low sex drive. I felt like once a week was enough, and he felt like I didn't desire him him more since he wanted it more often. I had to tell him that men are usually more sexual than women, and naturally I didn't feel like doing it most days. I don't know if my medication has led to my sex drive being even lower than usual, or I'm just so happy and excited with other activities that sex just doesn't seem that appealing to me anymore. So how can I be more sexual and get excited about sex? I love my boyfriend and find him very sexy and attractive. How can I crave having sex more? I hope you guys can give me some advice. Thanks, guys. I send you all my love and wish you the best always. I have advice, but go ahead.
No, please. I want to hear your advice.
Okay. So first of all, point number one, I do think that both of us, Steve and I, when we get into these periods of being extremely passionate and obsessed with certain things, we can definitely go into a hole and forget about sex.
Yes.
And I think that's totally natural, at least with us. Like, I think it does suck if one partner is not in that mode and then the other partner is, because then it's like one partner really wants it and then feels kind of ignored or neglected, and then the other partner is like really excited to work on their thing. But usually like we have enough interests going on that we can, like, if one partner is in a hole, like we could find things to do. Yeah. So, so that's natural. I wouldn't necessarily blame that on a low sex drive. Although if you had a low sex drive beforehand, that could come into play. I do think medication also does play a role in lowering sex drive. Sometimes you'd have to check with your doctor.
Sometimes
I don't know.
Birth control too, is my understanding.
Birth control too, for sure. Anything that fucks with your chemicals or your hormones can definitely impact your hormones, and that impacts your sex drive. So that could be a chemical thing as well. However, if you do like just really want to try, if this is like something you're now trying to focus on incorporating more in your life, there are things that you can do that I've found very effective, just such as making your environment more sensual. So, because when I don't feel sexy, and usually it's because I'm doing a bunch of other things, I don't really want to have sex. Like I'm not feeling myself in that way, right? But if I am putting on some music that I really like, that I'm really vibing to, and I light a candle and it's kind of sensual, and then I start like kind of just caressing myself.
Whoa, dude, that was free. Wow.
Yeah, it feels freeing. Like it's not.
No,
it's not for. Oh, you got it for free?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sign up for my OnlyFans. Just kidding. No, it's like it's not for anybody else. It's for you to like feel more sexy about yourself, and then it will start to leak into other areas of your life. It will maybe start to leak into you kind of wanting more intimacy and connection with your partner. But it starts with you. When you're really not feeling it like most of the time, if you just kind of slowly start incorporating certain things, I kind of like to put on a song, like certain music, like Lana Del Rey kind of puts me in that kind of mood.
And she puts me to sleep. So
sensual. Yeah. Like lower the lighting and just kind of like be with yourself, like feel yourself. It also helps if I'm doing consistent exercise and cardio.
Yes, that helps me too.
Absolutely helps. Just to feel more energized.
Feeling like I'm doing things with my body, not just my mind.
And it gets endorphins going. Definitely like the endorphins, the serotonin, all that stuff plays a huge role. It's crazy how much things are intertwined.
Do not fall into the trap. It's not
just one thing.
Do not fall into the trap of like you just do things for your mind and you don't think things for your body. You got to do things for both.
Yeah, you have to do things for both.
Have to.
Absolutely.
And then that keeps you in touch with your body. So like if your body is like, if you're repressing that you actually want to have sex because you're actively thinking about other things, that can fuck you up. It's definitely happened to me. Yeah. So try to pay attention to both of those meters.
Yeah, but for me, environment is a big factor.
I think that's good advice.
Also, I've been wearing a lot of satin. It just makes me feel like
you've been sex bombing around the house.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I need to feel more feminine. Whenever I've gone through like a dry spell of like we haven't really been having sex because we've been like working on our other things. Yeah. And I'm like, we need that connection, right? Do. So like, I'll start to turn up the femininity. For me, that's what kind of gets me going. I mean, it's not a one size fits all, but I do absolutely like, today I kind of played with makeup or like, just doing like little things that make you feel more flirty or more sensual. It helps me.
So we hope that helps. Also, you could talk to your doctor about your medication because that, what were you like before this? Yeah. I wonder. and if there's any discrepancy there, you know.
Well, she says she's always had a lower sex drive.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's the same. You know, I wonder if it's identical or if there's any kind of difference between the medication and that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sounds like there's a lot of variables going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
We're rooting for you.
And I'm glad that you're still finding ways to be intimate
with your dude. That's
outside
great.
of sex. Yeah.
That's really, really,
I think
really strong.
That's the important part.
He just has to feel like you want him, even though, you know, obviously you're not in the mood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and anxiety definitely does play. Anxiety and depression,
fuck yeah, man! Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so if you start to try new things and it's still not, you're still not feeling yourself, don't beat yourself up about it. There's a lot of things at play, including the fact that we're in a pandemic and the world is pretty chaotic.
You know what I mean?
So, give yourself a break. All right. Next question. This is titled Investing Questions.
Yes.
I think we're doing a good job of mixing up relationships and money and stuff. Okay. Hey, Nikki and Steve, but probably mostly Nikki since this question isn't about crypto. Sorry, Steve. I listened to the Investment 101 podcast of Shit They Don't Tell You, and while I appreciated the information in it, there are some questions about starting out that you didn't really answer. Oh. I see that Nikki made a quick mention of Robinhood in her most recent vlog and said you might do a Shit They Don't Tell You on it. When was this asked? This was asked in February, early February. Okay, this might have been I don't know if this was before or after. Episode? I don't remember with the timeline on that. I thought that was last week of January.
It was.
Okay, I don't know what the timeline was on this, but she says, I see that Nikki made a quick mention of Robinhood in her most recent vlog and said you might do a Shit They Don't Tell You on it. Oh, we did do a Shit They Don't Tell You on the Robinhood situation.
Yes.
So this must have just been before that episode came out. Okay. I'm also sorry if this is long. I tried to be concise, but I'm usually really bad at that. So I've been thinking about the concept of investing for a little while now, as you do in your 30s. True. My friend recently started using Robinhood, and I know there are various other apps for investing in a similar way, but I'm wary of them. I'm interested in getting my foot in the door and starting, but I don't exactly understand how things actually work. The discussion of what is most and less risky was helpful, but it still doesn't answer the how questions I have. Basically, my questions are things like, are apps like Robinhood, Stash, etc., good or bad way to get started with small amounts of money? Is there a way to get started on your own without having to consult/pay a professional? At what point do you want to have a financial advisor? How do you even choose a financial advisor? How do you even find a financial advisor? For clarification on this specific, I have no idea how to do this. I still live in the middle of nowhere. Our local businesses still take paper checks, and most places within a 40-mile radius don't even have a website. I can't just pop a search online for nearby offices and read Google reviews and such because the online presence isn't there. The nearest Walmart even is at least 60 miles away. Jeez. There are so many different exchanges, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, OTCQX, and they don't all have the same companies. What's the difference? What about things like Shares Post and Equity Zen for buying shares in private companies that aren't publicly traded? Don't recommend doing that right now.
Yeah, you've overextended yourself.
Are those worth utilizing? Is one better than another? You said at the beginning of the last episode that you don't have to have huge amounts of money to start investing. But the hard part of getting started for me isn't just choosing where to put that money necessarily. It's how to even navigate the ethereal idea of the market in order to get started. Wow. I know you're not professionals, but please, if you could give some advice on these types of things, that would really help me and probably some other millennials out a ton. Much love, Sarah. Wow, Sarah, I appreciate all these questions.
The other day, the stock market crashed, right? Quote unquote. Yeah. Me and Nikki are jumping up and down.
Oh, yeah.
We're jumping up and fucking down. How about that? Because we know the market is emotions. All this other shit where you try to get all technical and go like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. Such a big organism, all this shit. Dude, it is just a fucking human brain, basically.
If there's no logical reason for a company to crash,
buy the fucking
buy it because it's just emotion then. And do your research to make sure that it's an event.
That's the company you want to buy.
Yeah. But like, if there's no like, hey, this someone filed a lawsuit against this company, and so that's the reason it's crashing. If there's no definable thing, then it's just emotions. That's the market's emotions. But anyway, read some books. Read The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Read Rule Number 1 by Phil Town, which I mentioned earlier. Read like Warren Buffett Way. Read the Dondo Investor by Monesh Pabrai. Read some books for sure. Get your mind in that state of thinking. But as far as how to get started, Okay, I'm going to go back to some of these questions.
Why not Robinhood?
Are Robinhood and Stash a good or bad way to get started with small amounts of money? Okay, I think that Robinhood is set up very user friendly. They don't take fees for trades. So if it depends on how small amount of money, but I do check Robinhood to see if stocks have gone up or down. Like it's just an easy interface to look at. As far as like investing and putting all my money in Robinhood, no. I don't do that because, and this is just me, this is not financial advice, but Robinhood isn't really backed by a bank that is big and has been around for a while. Like you want to look at like the brokerages, like where are they getting their money from to basically like play with and like loan out to people? Like what's backing it? If everything crashes to the ground, what is backing this brokerage? And so places like Fidelity, Vanguard, Ameritrade, like places that are backed by big financial institutions are probably your best bet. They're also FDIC insured. Like so look at that. Personally, I have an account with Ameritrade. I know a lot of people that love Vanguard and Fidelity, so those are some to look at. I don't know if that was your question. And the next question was there a way to get started on your own without having to consult / pay a professional? Yes, read books, lots of books. Mm-hmm. Lots of books, listen to podcasts, read books, find an investor you really like and want to follow and just listen to everything that they do.
Surround yourself in it. Sounds like you surrounded yourself in a lot of questions about it.
But you just haven't dipped into the actual information.
Got to go in now.
And it's beyond like Google, like you're saying, looking at Yelp reviews for local businesses. I don't think you even need to do that. Like, because you can do pretty much everything online. So, all these places that I'm talking about, Fidelity, Vanguard, you could open accounts online. You don't even have to go to an actual branch. Yep. So, I don't think you need to worry about that. But consulting, paying a professional, so when you do that, they charge a lot of fees. There's a lot of fees involved.
If you're an athlete, I recommend it.
Yeah. If you have ginormous amounts of money,
go for it.
And you don't want to learn, you don't want to like go invest in yourself. When I say you don't need a lot of money to start investing, I'm saying it doesn't cost a lot of money to invest in yourself and learning the knowledge and then go on, taking it step by step, not like a get rich quick, like put all your money in this thing and like, get rich now. Like just take your time, learn what you're doing, invest in yourself first, and then start little by little going into a safe route. So when you say I didn't go over the house, I'm not sure which house I didn't go over, because I think step by step, the simplest form, you have your money, you go read lots of books, you open an IRA account, open something that's tax deferred, or has some tax benefits to it, like a Roth IRA. Put your money into that. And then once it's in there and you open your IRA with Ameritrade or Fidelity or Vanguard, like what those companies I was talking about. And then once it's in there, you can invest in an index. An index is the safe bet. And, go watch that episode again. But I went over what's the quote unquote safest to the quote unquote riskiest. And you can choose what level you're at, because the riskier it gets, the more knowledge you just have to have. So just learn as much as you can. I don't know
I think you answered all of it.
Yeah, I think I answered all of it, right? Because
you're a crypto hater, I have to part with this. First of all, there's a Coinbase IPO at the end of this month, which is March, so you can buy a very reputable company that is heavily embedded in the crypto space. They also make billions of dollars a year. And that's a quote unquote legit way to purchase something that could do very well. But if you put fucking $100 into Bitcoin a year ago, you would have like $2,000 right now. That's it.
Yeah. So experiment, learn, and then experiment, and then learn from what worked and didn't work. That's kind of how I would approach anything in life. Right. And I think people get weird about certain things. They get weird about money, or they get weird about relationships, or they get weird about, like, it's almost like you can understand it logically in this area of your life, that you learn, you apply, you learn from what worked and didn't work. but you can't, like in your job, you can apply that, but then you won't apply it in other areas of your life. And I always think that that's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's okay to fail sometimes. It's okay to take a risk and fail, and then you learn from that. Just don't keep repeating that same mistake, right?
Exactly.
So, the ethereal, I don't think you need to understand like the ethereal idea of the marketplace. The marketplace is just a bunch of businesses. Okay. So, and what you're doing when you purchase a stock or invest in stocks is you are buying a portion of that business. So you are now technically a partial owner of that business. Okay. And that's it. Like I partially own some of Microsoft right now, And so when Microsoft profits, I profit. Hopefully.
If you're using these products.
As long as the management is, handling the money the right way.
If you have a Microsoft computer or you use a Surface or whatever the
PC,
fuck.
yeah.
Why aren't you also investing in the company? You literally
if you believe in
are
it,
helping the company win.
If you believe a company will be around in 10 years and be doing better than it is right now, it's probably a good company to look at.
You're helping build the company by using their products all the time. People who go to Chipotle every fucking night, but they don't buy Chipotle stock. I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, it's hard to know when to buy in. So, and that's what you need to do research on.
Sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't buy Chipotle right now, even though I like Chipotle.
No, I'm saying like they've done it for years and they don't buy into it. Like it's about reorganizing the way that you think about what you're doing.
Yeah. Right? So first the mindset of investing.
Yeah. I literally am helping these companies. Every time I go to Target, I'm helping Target. Yeah. But I don't think that I could buy Target stock because I don't think that way. Mm-hmm. But you have to marry that kind of logic and really think more logically.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then just read books on the right time to buy in on those stocks, because that's always up for debate. Analysts always debate about whether a stock is a buy, a hold, a sell. Like, so many different analysts have so many different opinions.
Too. Some of the shit that gets said where it's like, oh, we like this one because the new earnings came out. That's it. And that can fucking make a stock go crazy, right? Like it can be the smallest thing too.
Yeah.
Like, the Elon Musk smoked weed on Joe Rogan. Guess what? Everyone's going to fucking short Tesla tomorrow. But guess what? Tesla rebounded by the end of the week.
Right.
You just don't know. It's emotional.
Yeah, it's all emotional. I mean, they conflict each other all the time. Like I subscribe to Wall Street Journal and a couple different publications that send me daily emails and from analysts and stuff, right? And one day it'll be like, PayPal is crashing because their president or the CEO sold a bunch of shares, which, by the way, he sells the same amount of shares every month. So this is stupid. But, they made a headline about it and then it like dipped for a little bit. And then the next day it's like PayPal is soaring because they incorporated this crypto thing and like everybody loves it. And so then it started going.
It's almost like they use media to manipulate the price so that they can get nice entry points.
Almost like that, right?
That's just a conspiracy that I have, though.
Interesting.
It's pure tinfoil hat shit. I'm just a fucking dumbass on the internet.
Yeah. But I encourage you to just keep learning. Learn as much as you can. You have good questions, so you have the right intuition about what to ask.
Just don't be scared of getting in.
Yeah, just go in. I mean, read some of those books that are recommended, and that's a good entry point for, getting started. And I hope that helps you. It answers your question. Good luck out there. Take advantage of compounding interest. I highly recommend it for everybody. And that's the end of our show today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you guys so much, even though some of you love me more than Steve.
But some of you have heard like me a lot, so that's nice.
And it's the right team.
It's always nice
to be on. And we're on separate teams, and we're enemies, so it's good to know who's loyal.
I always have Mark. At the end of the day.
No,
that's what I know.
Mark.
I'm going.
Blink twice.
At least I have that.
Subscribe to our Patreon too. Patreon.com/sticky.
Some people like me there too.
No. I mean, some.
I heard.
Okay. We love you guys. Bye.